everyone, my name is Baylee. I'm a reptile keeper here at the Naples Zoo, and today I am in our python exhibit with our Burmese python, Sammy, and our reticulated python, Ka. So I've been working here at the zoo for about 2 years, and I have a bachelor's degree in marine biology, and before I worked here at the zoo, I actually did a few seasons of sea turtle monitoring around the world, which is where I fell in love with reptiles. And so with me today is Vittoria, who has a degree in wildlife and fisheries resources. She is another reptile keeper here at the zoo, and she's here with me today because anytime we are in this exhibit, we always have two of us, and we always have these great big snake hooks with us to make sure that we can stay as safe as possible with these snakes. So pythons are non-venomous snakes. Obviously, these two are quite large, and they are constrictors, which is why we always have these safety protocols in place. So when most people hear pythons, they often immediately think of the ones that are invasive here in South Florida, but there's actually a large number of python species all across the world. And so the ones that we do have here in Florida is specifically the Burmese python. And so Sammy is a Burmese python here at the zoo, and Ka is a reticulated python, which is actually the longest species of snake in the world. Now, the main difference between them, other than size and where they are found, both in different areas of Southeast Asia, their patterns are very different. So Burmese pythons have very dark, irregular shaped blotches with a light sort of gold background, and they have a very obvious arrowhead shape on the top of their head. And reticulated pythons have sort of light tan colored diamonds or triangles all along their back on a darker background, and their heads usually don't have much of a pattern except for a stripe running from their eyes to their jaw and sometimes a line across the middle of their head. And so they do look pretty different, but if you just see a large snake, it can be a little difficult if you just saw them quickly. But the Burmese pythons are the ones that are invasive here in South Florida. Estimates of anywhere from 10,000 all the way up to 100,000. They've been around for decades, but there is a lot of really interesting research going on right now to figure out what they're doing and how we can possibly help prevent that. But Burmese pythons are actually endangered over in their native habitats, and we really love having Sammy here as an ambassador animal to teach everyone about invasive species and what to do if you see them, which is to report them to FWC. Now, Sammy and Ka are really great snakes to have. They actually have very strong personalities. We get this question a lot about snakes, is can they recognize people? And Sammy especially is a perfect example of yes, they can. Sammy does sometimes play favorites, and she will immediately go over to the keeper that she likes the best whenever we go in there. She's very curious. You see them moving around all of the time. Both Sammy and Ka love to go swimming in their pool. They love climbing, and Sammy is especially obsessed with the door to the keeper area. And every time we have that open, whether it's for cleaning or just going in to check on them, she immediately goes over and starts climbing the door to take a look. She tries to get inside, but it's a really great way that her personality comes through, and they're really interesting and really exciting snakes too. And you can also see here Ka's heat pits really well, and pythons, most species of pythons have what's called heat pits, which is actually basically an extra sense that helps the pythons hunt. And because they often do their hunting at nighttime when it's dark, and these heat pits allow them to sense the body heat of warm-blooded animals, like mammals, which is their favorite food, things like rabbits or small mammals. So they can see these animals in the dark just by sensing their body heat, which allows them to be really incredible predators and catch their food even when it's totally dark. And combining that with their great sense of smell, which is what they're doing when they actually stick their tongue out all the time. They're collecting all of those scent particles in the air, bringing it into their mouth and touching it to the Jacobson's organ on the top of their mouth, which tells them what they're smelling. And so with that smell, taste, and those heat pits, they're really, really great predators. So thank you for joining us today while we learned about Sammy and Ka and their really great personalities. And make sure you stay tuned and follow the Naples Zoo so you can keep learning about all of our wonderful animals.